Hi, welcome to another Praise in the Morning devotion on the Psalms. Today we're going to look at Psalm 37, a Psalm of David. It's quite a long psalm, but I think it's worth reading through it to get the real gist of what it's speaking about. So I'm going to read through from the NIV, and I'm going to make a few comments about it to kind of steer you in your own devotion as you consider this. So Psalm 37, do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass they soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when men succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. For evil men will be cut off, and those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy great peace. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. Better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The days of the blameless are known to the Lord, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster they will not wither. In days of famine they will enjoy plenty. But the wicked will perish. The Lord's enemies will be like the beauties of the fields. They will vanish like smoke. The wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. Those the Lord blesses will inherit the land, but those he curses will be cut off. If the Lord delights in a man's ways, he makes his steps firm. Though he stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I was young and now I am old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children begging bread. They are always generous and lend freely. Their children will be blessed. Turn from evil and do good. Then you will dwell in the land forever, for the Lord loves the just and will not forsake his faithful ones. They will be protected forever. The mouth of the righteous man utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks what is just. The law of his God is in his heart, his feet do not slip. The wicked lie in wait for the righteous, seeking their very lives. But the Lord will not leave them in their power, nor let them be condemned or brought to trial. Wait for the Lord and keep his way. He will exalt you to inherit the land when the wicked are cut off. You will see it. I have seen a wicked and ruthless man flourishing like a green tree in its native soil, but he soon passed away and was no more. Though I looked for him, he could not be found. Consider the blameless, observe the upright. There is a future for the man of peace. But all sinners will be destroyed. The future of the wicked will be cut off. The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in times of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. Amen. It's quite a long psalm. It's split up into 40 verses. And it's good to know this psalm is also an acrostic psalm. Again, the lettering of the alphabet that runs through, as it were, the structure of this psalm. And it's very much a psalm of wisdom. And that fits well with the structure and the planning of the psalmist for how they've laid this out. We again see the separation of the righteous and the wicked, and the great call to as it were, wait upon the Lord and put our trust in God for all our future and our refuge. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do it. He will finish it. He will complete it. And that's the essence of what's being said here. Trust in the Lord, dwell in the land, do what's right, delight in God, and as it were, the reward of the righteous will follow. We might not always see it immediately, and we might on one side see the wicked prospering, but let's not forget they will find, as it were, an end. And this psalm lays that out quite spectacularly in description of the end of as it were, some of these wicked and unrighteous. So our hope is to put our trust in God, to wait patiently, it tells us in verse 7. In verse 6, again, it shows us that we might have a righteous and just cause, and God sees it and he will take it up. And we can have hope in that our inheritance in God is, as it were, a surety because of righteousness. And that's something we can put our hope in and trust in as we choose to follow God in our walks. This psalm goes almost like a recollection of the wisdom of someone's life in many ways, through difficulties and through being young and old. And it speaks of being never seen the righteous forsaken, and the characteristics of the righteous that it lays out here, the generosity, the blessing, rather than cursing, doing good, dwelling in goodness, being people, men and women of peace, speaking wisdom and righteousness out of the tongue, and having God's law and word, as it were, in the heart. These are characteristics and qualities of the way of blessing that this psalm returns to us in this sort of sense of wisdom that it lays out alphabetically. It tells us that there is a future in verse 37. Consider the blameless, observe the upright. There is a future for the man of peace. That's great words for us to hold on to in times of uncertainty, in times of destruction, in times of disaster, that we can still believe and still know that in God there is a future. And for me, that's a comfort. Those are comforting things to hear, to read, and to contemplate in our own walks and lives as we look at what's around us, we look at our own lives, and we trust God and to allow God to be the one who brings things to pass. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him. He will do it. Wait patiently for the Lord. These are good things. Amen.